I used to be stuck around $5,000 a month in my agency, consistently churning clients. I was undercharging, I was burnt out, and I was just serving the local market around me. I thought I needed more clients. I thought I needed more hustle. I honestly thought I needed some more time. But one thing changed, and the one thing I'm gonna be going over inside this video for you guys, there are 3 shifts that needed to be done that took me to $20,000 a month in under 90 days. And I am now showing you exactly how I have done it. This was about a year ago, and now I'm ready to share some value. On the screen here, you guys, here's a little picture of me working at Barnes & Noble's, a little Snapchat video of me working. I think it was like 9 p.m. or 10 p.m. or something. And I was just like, it's gonna pay off. I was starting my agency at the time. I was already doing, some lead gen. I was already signing some local clients, but in reality, I had some local clients signed. They all churned in May. Super sad. They all churned in May because it wasn't I was under delivering. It was when cash flow dipped for these local companies, they had to cut out marketing budgets, and I was the first one to be cut. And so all of my local business clients churned. And so I was sick of it. And I thought to myself, how can I get charged more for what I'm worth? Because I already have the skill set and I can just adapt to a larger business. So I started going after mid-market companies. In June of 2024, I scaled from literally $0 to 7.3K cash collected in June last year. Okay. Then this screenshot was taken somewhere over a 4-week period between June and July, hit my first $10,000 month right after. And then $21,000 month in July was where we kind of peaked at. Now, this is just for July. We obviously scaled further, but for the sake of exponential growth purposes, I'm just showing you guys these 3 months, okay? Obviously, I put together, if you're under $10,000 a month, a free playbook. Maybe you should sacrifice your best email address for all the knowledge that could possibly change your life. It's that first link right down below, or any comment section or any description. Truth is, you don't really need another playbook. You don't really need more information. You just need more implementation of the right things, okay? That's literally it. You just need more implementation. This playbook is specifically going over the implementation, not necessarily throwing you another course or throwing you another community that's not going to help you out. It's just implementation, okay? It's something I wish I needed about a year and a half ago. And if somebody offered me that, I'd take it in a heartbeat. So with that being said, I kept on thinking I had like a client problem. I was like, I need to send out some more DMs. I need to make some more cold calls on my phone. I need to send some more ads. I was, putting some meta ads on that time. But it really hit me one day. Actually hit me on YouTube. I watched a video kind of like this one, and I realized that the real problem, it wasn't even client volume. It was how I positioned myself. So I noticed I was going after a local market in the agency space, and I was only going after local markets in markets that were sort of close to me or within the state or 2 away from me. I wasn't going after businesses with real cash flow, or even companies for that matter. And so I figured out that I had to structure my offer a completely different way. How I framed myself and how I framed the value of my services came down to perceived value. And the solution was simply that. I started using LinkedIn Sales Navigator, using manually LinkedIn Sales Navigator, and then obviously automation down the line to send out a very specific outbound message and scale up, a LinkedIn infrastructure, if you will. And so the results you see here on the screen are just simply the byproduct of that, okay? Now, obviously, the 3 big changes that I made, just to give you guys some value up front here, is I rebuilt my offer around an upmarket pain, okay? So just to keep this in the frame here, so you guys can so we can just focus on this right now. I rebuilt my offer around an upmarket plan. So I didn't sell with features. I didn't sell with more deliverables. We're gonna create more paid ads for you. We're gonna do this amount of volume. We're gonna spend more of your company's budget on marketing. I didn't sell with features or deliverables, but outcomes. And so I targeted a upmarket segment in the software space. So the rest is pretty much history. I run ads for software companies. I run a multi-6-figure marketing agency that markets for software companies. We just run ads for software companies, that's all. So we run ads for B2B software companies doing over $1 million a year, and ARR, which is annual recurring revenue, it's just a software term. And that's just basically what we do. And so I already had the skills and the knowledge. I didn't have all the expertise, like I did a year and a half ago. I didn't have the expertise back then, but I told myself, if I move up market and I sort of sell to companies, guess what's going to happen? My skills are going to increase, and I already have the baseline skills. And I'm the type of guy to where if you put me in a situation to where I can use my skills just at a higher level in a faster paced environment, I'm going to totally take it all day, especially if it, allows me to charge more and make more money on the front end and the back end too. So I was all about it. So I started selling with outcomes. I started showing these software companies what could happen to their software, where their software could be with my marketing, okay? So I rebuilt my offer around upmarket pain. Now, the next thing that I did is I stopped chasing and started pre-selling leads. Gone are the days where I was cold calling every single day, cold emailing every single day, burning out my cold email domains, cold calling, trying to get through gatekeepers for 5 hours on end. Trust me, I've been there. I experienced it. You are not alone, okay? I stopped chasing. I started pre-selling. So I created a simple funnel, which is simply just this, LinkedIn Sales Navigator. I call it LSN. We use LinkedIn Sales Navigator and Find Email and another software too to send out messages. So the first thing I did is I rebuilt my offer on an upmarket pane. If you're sick of the local market, the best way to get out of the local market is to actually target an upper market segment, or just go up market. Start signing companies that, instead of having company headcount numbers of 5 to 50 employees, maybe you start going after companies that have employee counts of 100 employees or 500 employees. You start moving up market slowly. I'm not saying start targeting enterprise companies like Shell or something like that. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is you can slowly expand up market. So I created the funnel, positioned me as an expert, filtered out the time wasters using manual and automated LinkedIn Sales Navigator. Now, quickly here, I just want to show you guys some of the clients who we actually have in the program. Like Robbie is using this infrastructure, scaled to $8,000 a day. He collected $8K in a day within 4 days of joining the program and installing this infrastructure. Okay. All the cases and testimonials are on my website as well. Juliana sent out 15 outreach messages just on LinkedIn Sales Navigator, manually, not even automated. She booked 1 call for the next week, and she onboarded that prospect that's now a client. So I'm just going to show you that, look, when I made my first $7,000 a month, it wasn't automatic. Like, I wasn't using Prosper.ai, or I wasn't using HeyReach or any of these automation tools like Expandio.io or whatever it is. I wasn't using any of those, guys. Like, I was just myself sending out manual outreach. Then I obviously had VAs that sent outreach. Then I added some automation and some things like that. But in the playbook, you get the step-by-step implementation. In the program, you get access to the entire pay-per results VAs, and these pay-per results VAs will send outreach on behalf of your company. You guys get access to all of the software stack that you can use to scale this to $100,000 a month or to $20,000 a month, depending on what you want to do and your budget. Obviously, the program costs an investment. It's a couple of G's, I'm not going to lie. But if you want to get the results that I did, in fact, even faster than I did, because we're way past this right now. I'm just showing you guys this timestamp for motivational purposes and exponential growth purposes, because it's much more of a flex to go from $0 to $21,000 a month than it is to go from like 21K, like 40 or 50K a month. It's not that, not crazy. Okay. So I can show you guys cases and testimonials pretty much all day, like Jack having 40 plus leads from LinkedIn and getting some closed. I then closing a $4,000 growth partner client, helped him prospect, outreach, construct the offer, and close a growth partner client. Okay. That was pretty fast as well. So Shreya has also scaled from 0 to 9K a month in 1 month of then joining the program, and he's now scaling to $100,000 a month. I think he's past that 20K a month mark. He's an online tutor, guys. He's a full-time med student and an online tutor. He has a tutoring agency, and he's scaling this thing to the moon. So I'm not going to go over more of that. I'm just going to get back to the value for you guys. But the first thing is rebuilding your offer, okay? Rebuild your offer towards upmarket pain. So actually sell your service that you currently have to a different segment of the market. Don't restructure your business. I'm not telling you to, watch my videos and restructure your entire business. Provide what you're already providing, just sell it to a different demographic, and it'll make the night and day difference. Started pre-selling, not chasing. And I sold a predictable client acquisition system. Like, this is very basic stuff. Like, everything from the first touch point to the last touch point was intentional. That's when $2,500, $4,500, $10,000 a month clients started reaching out. I stopped begging for the attention. So you guys can tell, I'll show you guys my LinkedIn right here. I don't even post crazy on LinkedIn. I don't have a huge presence. I just have 500 plus connects, a little over 2,000 followers. But when I hit my first $7,000 a month, I had like 50 followers, I think. I think you have to have at least 50 connections and be above the age of 18 to actually send on LinkedIn Sales Navigator. I don't even want to speak to you if you're under 17, I think, because I don't even think I can help you out. This is like actual business stuff, not looking to make your first dollar online. Like, I have this system that will like blow up your company, blow up your business. I do this for software companies that are earning over $1 million a year. Okay. So I share a lot of that on the channel as well, but this is not for guys that are super, super young. Like, you need to have experience with business and knowledge. And I'm not talking to you if you're like 15 or 16. Okay. We do have a few 16-year-olds in the program, but there are some outliers who are already, like, I think Robbie is 16 and he's, actually I think Robbie's 17, I could be wrong, but he closed $8,000 in a single day and he's making like 20K a month right now with agency ads and things like that. So whatever. But regardless, you don't need a huge LinkedIn presence is what I'm trying to tell you, okay? You just need to be able to have at least 50 connections and you need to be able to have LinkedIn Sales Navigator, all right? The only two softwares that I teach in the program are Find Email and LinkedIn Sales Navigator. The optional softwares are things like the automation tools like HeyReach and stuff like that. But like I said, you guys, the quickest way to scale is by downloading this playbook. You don't get more information, you get the implementation. You get the access to the community where I have in the specific classroom module. Here's what you're gonna do. Yes, it's not the inner circle program where I'm holding your hand and showing you exactly how you're gonna hit $20,000 a month in 90 days, but it's exactly how you can, pretty much step by step do it, okay? So if there's 3 takeaways you need to have for this video that are very valuable, it's rebuilding your offer towards an upmarket segment. Truth is, you've already probably served a few clients, whether in the local market or even in the mid-market, but it's time for you to move a little bit higher in terms of the industry that you're currently helping out. If you're helping out realtors or you're helping out car detailers that are doing $5,000 or $10,000 a month, maybe it's time to start helping out those detailing companies that are doing $50,000 to $100,000 a month. It's not that much of a jump. It's not a crazy leap. I'm telling you, it's not that scary. The second thing I would highly recommend you do is stop chasing prospects. Start thinking of ways that you can build out a funnel. Obviously, I already have the playbooks and everything like that for you, but just start thinking of ways of how you can stop dialing the phone and trying to get people interested, and how you can already go to where the interest is and have a demand capture offer and position your agency as demand capture, not necessarily generating demand, because there's a huge difference. Like Iman Gaji, he generates demand for young people who want to earn money online through an agency. At least that's what he was doing for some of his info products. I'm over here capturing the demand that he's already built over the past couple of years and helping existing agency owners that already believe that agency is the way to scale up. So there's a difference between that. And then also, last but not least, think of a way where you can predictably get on the phone call or predictably get on phone calls with your prospects. So even if that is a way for you to, cold call them, maybe think about ways to where you can actually automate the cold calling process, have VAs on your behalf, or just think of ways in terms of scale. True CEOs and some of the most successful business owners and mentors I have who are pulling in 7, 8, and even close to 9 figures are typically the ones that think in terms of scale. They think in terms of how can I remove myself from X operation to get Y result? How can I do this differently in my business to get a better result here? How can I tweak this little thing to get a crazy back-end result here? So that's some value for you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know if you guys have any comments or questions down below. If you're not at $20,000 a month, just drop your most common concern down below as to why you don't think you're there. Comment below what you're struggling with. I reply to every single comment. I literally will pick a lot of those comments and I'll make videos about them as well. So with that being said, you guys, fill out that first playbook. It's in any single link down below, any comment section, any description. It's going to show you exactly how to get to $20,000 a month, just like I did in under 90 days. All right, y'all. Catch you guys in a bit. Peace.